I never thought this is going to be an issue. Something so obvious can be misinterpreted. Silent Hill 2 Remake took the world by storm, just like the original when it released on the PS2. As of November 2024, Silent Hill 2 has sold over 1 million copies worldwide. I'm talking about the remake. And to add added replayability, in addition to the original endings, Silent Hill 2 Remakes has its own exclusive endings. This video is going to explain the Stillness ending exclusive to the Silent Hill 2 Remake. What is going on, y'all? This is your boy, the Bengal Dragon. Make sure to hit that like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons, as all your support really helps this legally blind YouTube content creator to remain motivated to continue making a variety of different type of videos in this channel, and through the YouTube algorithms would really help this channel grow. Let's jump right in to the Stillness ending.
I tried. I really did, but I can't go on without you. I can't forgive myself for what I've done.
I know. What's wrong, honey?
I miss you so much. I am sorry. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Will you wait for me?
James. I've always been waiting for you.
To most people, it is very obvious what happened, okay? What story the game is trying to tell you. This is essentially the in-water ending, but with much more of an emotional impact. But apparently, there is one part that makes some people think of an alternate explanation. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is this sound. As a result of which, many people believe that James opened his car door and drove into the lake, jumping out of his car at the last moment. As absurd absurd as that sounds, coupled with the fact that we never hear the sound of James hitting the floor when he supposedly jumped out of the car. The basic fact still remains that the notion that James jumped out of his car at the last moment after driving his car into the lake makes absolutely no sense. Think about it logically. If James decided not to end his life that day, why did he find the need to drive his car into the lake? He didn't even need to do that in the first place. He could have just walked out of his car and walked out of Silent Hill itself, never to return, thus saving him the headache of not even having to dispose of his car. He's not going to come back to Silent Hill anyways. So, what happens to the car as a reminder of Mary doesn't matter. Jumping out of the car at the last moment, as this theory suggests, and which, believe me, I'm so surprised so many people believe this nonsense, on a surface level itself makes no sense. That is something that people do for things like insurance fraud and to fake their own death. In which case, who is he faking his death to? Pyramid Head? Honestly, the conclusion that James jumped out of his car at the last moment, all based off of one sound that some people assume is a door opening, makes the most saddest ending in this game, the most likely ending in this game, look as stupid as this.
Geronimo!
Confusion of the highest order.
And I'll get to why this is the most likely ending in a bit. But apparently, there's even another part that confuses people. That is when James says,
Will you wait for me?
that line is actually related to something earlier in the game. Something that Maria, a product of Silent Hill, concocted as a psychological punishment for James, told him.
Who is she?
There's a story told around these parts. Kind of a local legend. Tells of a woman who was cast out, sentenced to die on an island out on the lake. There was a man in town who fell madly in love with her. And every night, he would sneak out, row across the lake, bringing her food and company. And every night, she would stand there on the shore, holding a lit candle to help him find his way. But this one night, a terrible storm broke out, caught him out in the open, and it blew out the candle. Even in darkness, the man would not give up. He would not turn back. So he fought against the raging waters until finally the lake took him. They say even then, the woman never lost hope. She kept coming out at night, kept lighting the candle to bring her beloved home, to lead him to shore.
Yes, according to that legend, there was a storm. And in that storm, the person trying to reach his lover drowned in that storm. But she is still holding a candle, trying to guide his boat to her shores. In other words, that woman is still waiting for him.
Will you wait for me?
James, I've always been waiting for you.
Furthermore, compare the Stillness ending to the one that is very similar, the in water ending. You will notice that in the Stillness ending, James is much more sadder.
I tried. I really did, but I can't. Just can't go on without you. I can't forgive myself for what I've done. I tried. I really did, but I can't go on without you. I can't forgive myself for what I've done.
In fact, he is so depressed that 3 years after killing his wife, James is hallucinating and he is talking to a hallucination. In fact, the directing is so beautiful here. James even hallucinates his wife making physical contact, touching him. And at that moment, when James hallucinates Mary touching him with her fingertips, James starts to cry.
What's wrong, honey?
I miss you so much. I miss you so much.
So, how is it in the sadder ending, James chooses to live, and in the ending, we're not even hallucinating about his dead wife, James chooses to end it all? It's not. It doesn't make any sense. On top of that, this is the most likely ending in the remake, and one of the several improvements that this game made over the original. Observe this scene in the original and in the remake.
James, give me back that knife.
No, I won't.
Saving it for yourself?
Me? No, I'd never kill myself.
James. Give me back the knife.
No, I won't.
Saving it for yourself. Have it your way. It doesn't change anything.
You see, in the original, James explicitly mentions that he would never end himself. Something he does not say in the remake. This is why I say the most likely ending in the Silent Hill 2 remake game is the Stillness ending. Whereas in the original Silent Hill 2 game, the most likely ending is the Laura ending, where James finally comes to terms or makes peace with the death of Mary and walks off with Laura, viewing raising Laura as a redemption. In the remake, James feels he is not worthy of redemption. And I'm sure many people have analyzed James Sutherland a lot in depth. But I can tell you this much right now. For James, his story is about regret, coming to terms with his trauma, and a chance of redemption if he believes he even deserves that chance. And all for a huge mistake that he has done in his one moment of weakness. And what is a moment of weakness in this context? A moment of weakness in this context is a situation where you are emotionally very charged, either due to anger, sadness, frustration, etc., to such a degree that your logical thinking is severely impaired. We saw protagonists in other games have these moments of weaknesses, such as Kratos, in his zeal to serve Ares, ended up killing his wife and child and only realized afterwards what he has done. We saw this in LA Noire with Cole Phelps in his Custer syndrome mindset and sense of over patriotism being ideal and being a hero. He ended up issuing the order that led to the death of several civilians burned to death with a flamethrower. And speaking of the differences between versions, it happened again. The Japanese and the English translations are so inaccurate that they ended up telling slightly different stories. First, let's compare the change and difference in tones, and thus the difference in messaging between the games. Pay very close attention to the facial expression and, more importantly, the vocal tones in these two scenes.
Mama! Mama, I was looking for you. Now you're the only one left. Maybe then Maybe then I can rest. Mama, why are you running away? You're not my mama. It's you. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you for saving me. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserved what happened.
No, Angela, that's wrong.
No, don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought.
Mama? Mama! I was looking for you. You're the only one left. Maybe then I can finally rest. Mama. What's wrong? Wait. You're not my mama. It's you. Thank you for helping me earlier. But I wish you hadn't. Even Mama said it. I deserve what happened.
No, Angela, that is not true.
Don't pity me. I'm not worth it. Or maybe you think you can save me? Will you love me? Care for me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought.
Notice how in the original, Angela's voice changes from child to adult, which is absent in the remake. Next, notice when Angela says this in both games.
Or maybe you think you can save me. Will you love me? Take care of me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought.
Or maybe you think you can save me? Will you love me? Care for me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought.
From a facial expression perspective, coupled with the vocal tone, in the original, Angela was taunting James with a very sarcastic tone, almost as if to say, does James think he can love her, take care of her, heal all her pain? This actually partly hints that in the original, Angela didn't want to be saved. Notice in the remake, not only does her voice not change from child to adult, as it is pretty consistently, young adult or late teenager, but her facial expression, coupled with the lack of a sarcastic tone, indicated that deep down, she wanted to be saved and she wanted James to save her. But she also knew that most likely James would not save her.
That's what I thought.
This indicates that in the remake, Angela doesn't think that anyone can save her, even if she wanted to be saved. This is further highlighted when you compare the Japanese and the English. Here's the comparison and what it actually means in Japanese.
Or maybe you think you can save me? Will you love me? Care for me? Heal all my pain? That's what I thought.
それとも本当に助けてくれる？守ってくれる？支えて私を愛してくれるの？ほらやっぱり。
In the Japanese, Angela brought up protecting her before anything else. Because this is something she never had as a child. Someone to protect her. But I digress. You get the difference in dialogue and the mistranslation that led to a difference in messaging between the Japanese and the English versions. Now, Angela Orosco and the dynamic that she has with James Sunderland is another topic for another video, which, let me remind you, will depend on how this video does and if there is a demand for such a video in the first place for me to do it. But getting back to the Stillness ending, even if you were to believe that James opened the door of his car, keeping in mind that you never hear the sound of James's body hitting the ground when James jumped out of the car, along with the absurd, illogical nature of it all, along with also what all that I have shown you in this video. Here's what actually happened. James probably opened the door of his car and then drove his car into the lake of the legend of that lover, in the middle of a storm to drown himself faster so that he can be with Mary faster. And also a symbolic gesture to be in line with the legend of the lover who drowned in the lake. So that's it for this video. Pretty short one, but do let me know your thoughts and do hit that like, subscribe, bell notification, and do share this with other people as well. I'm also going to leave you with a very short music video, and do let me know about your thoughts on this music video snippet. I'll see you in the next video.
If I could stand up and take the blame,
Save
I would
me.
take all my shame. I killed her.
Care for me? Heal all my pain?
So sorry.
That's what I